Tiny little town of Strathbogie. This is where we're staying. It's a tiny town. Probably a couple of hundred people live here. Well, here we are at our campsite. Very peaceful. So these tents are really good. I bought this 2 years ago. It's a Austrail Tourer 9. And it's just basically one pole in the middle, but you can actually buy side poles. So if you want more room in the middle of the tent, it's the way to go. I'll go up here. We'll go to the golf course. And it's really peaceful. We've got some workers working on a shed up in that direction. A lot of these towns don't have a lot of people camping because there's not a lot of activities for most people. You know, most towns have, if they've got good swimming pools and access to water for speedboats, fishing, then they're usually pretty popular. But we're going to do a bit of fishing, but most people like to use a boat in Australia. We tend to fish in little creeks and streams. I like trout fishing. So there we have it. We've got our esky over here, and we're in the shade, which is good. So basically with the esky, there's ice, and this will last probably, I don't know how many days, 3 days almost. So just a bit of food, bit of beer of course, bit of ham. So I eat different food than Merv. So that's it. So we are in the Strathbogie Ranges and we're looking at a couple of possible spots that we're going to dig. So first of all, we've got a lot of crevices. In there may not be much down in here. Up through here, get rid of all the rocks, start sieving, come up through here, possibly up this way, where we have that little, just that little waterfall up ahead. We'll take you up through there because it's not very deep, the water. So maybe down in there and up a bit further, but we might double back around and clean out that hole and just see what's there. Probably may not find anything, so it's going to get pretty hot later on, so it won't be here forever. My friend Merv. But we're on a camping trip for another 2 days and then I'm back to work. So we can check this hole out and see what's in there. It's probably been dug out, who knows. Get into these rocks here. A fair bit of water would have been flowing through this winter, all over this section. And down into there. See what got caught up into here. Filming now, all you got to do is just point, try to use that. Yep. And we'll just film me. Those big rocks. start sieving. Just go down in here actually, where I know there's nothing. Let's have a look at the first sieve of the day. We're going to sun. Glasses off might help. Right. These are nothing. Yeah, it's already a type of smoky quartz.
It's smoky, is it?
Yeah, tight. Crystal.
Oh, it's a crystal, yep.
Yeah, it's probably just back up a bit, Merv, with the camera.
Yep.
So there's one there. It's not great, probably. That's another point. Look at that. Can you see the point? We'll look at those later.
Yep.
That's just a point of crystal. Actually, I want topaz. So it's stuff. That's nothing.
Was that tourmaline, was it, or?
No. Let's get rid of these big ones. I might actually flip this. Not tourmaline. Might actually give it a bit of a flip. See what's ever any heavy stuff in the bottom. Quartz. That's a chunk of tourmaline. Feels heavy. Might check it out later. Oh. Good look. Might use this to do a bit of flipping on this section. I reckon that's it. Just got a couple of crystal points. Have a look in here. Just don't think there'll be much in that. It's too fine to worry about. Even if there was a gemmed facet, it'd be tiny. There's no sapphires here. So, a little bit of tourmaline there.
Yep.
Stick that in. It's not tourmaline, it's just a black rock of some type. So that's the first sieve of the day. We'll look at them in more detail later on.
Yeah.
Bit of wood. Okay. You want to try a sieve out? You want to dig in there, Merv?
Yep, why not?
Okay, I'll put those away in my pocket. Don't need to be too fancy. And later on at camping ground, we'll have a closer look at these.
Yeah.
See what we find. Okay.
Alright.
Now Merv's turn. A lot of heavy rocks in there. Kind of. Merv's doing well. Getting a good lot in there. I think as we get further to the bottom, maybe we'll hit topaz. It's more likely to sink down further with the tourmaline, we hope. So this is all the real deal. We're not putting in our own gems beforehand to make things look good. We're just going to see what happens. If we find stuff, we find stuff. If we don't, well, that's life. I always feel all too often in these prospecting videos, people are setting up the scenario Always finding gems in every sieve. The reality is you could be digging for an hour before you find something, and those gems I've found before, they're probably not going to be very good quality. They're probably rubbish. I'll end up tossing them, but we'll have a look later on. Yep, off you go, Merv. We'll just get rid of most of the waste down there where it's all sandy, where it's not likely to be anything. Okay. And we're not professionals at this, we're just having a bit of fun. We're not out here to make a living. Just on a camping trip. If you see anything on the surface, take it out. Most of it will hit the bottom. Might come in closer. It's going to get hot today. It's actually quite nice down here. So we'll try to do all this in one take. And see what we find. Okay, what do we got? I'll stand back here. Yeah, you kind of need sun, don't you, to see what's going on?
Yeah. Oh.
You're worn out already. Yeah. Didn't get much sleep last night. We set up our tents, and it's always the first thing when you go camping. The first night you never tend to sleep too well. Then all of a sudden you sleep really well. What's that? Just not much.
No.
It's pretty obvious if when you see a crystal in that, it'll just really shine, particularly in the sun. Anyway, it doesn't look like there's any tourmaline. No.
It doesn't look like much in that.
Well, have a good look through it. You might want to flip it too.
Yeah.
But, make sure you go through it properly, because it's easy to miss a bit. Like, get rid of all that rough. See that rough stuff? I see a bit of tourmaline. You rake your hand through it.
Did I?
Yeah, there it is there. Have a look. Right there.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got to look carefully. That's a nice little bit. Keep that.
Yeah.
You just throw it. Oh no, you got it, have you?
Yep.
I thought you threw it back. Is that a little crystal there? Is that a little crystal?
Where?
No, just shining. So you've got to have a really good look. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
You'll probably miss stuff.
Yeah. Look.
This is Merv's footwear. Thongs. This is what I use. Gumboots.
Yeah, I need to buy a new pair of gumboots.
Okay, hurry up, Merv. Our viewers haven't got all day.
Yeah, sorry.
Most of them have probably gone to have a toilet break at the moment. They're coming back to see what you've got. I don't think there's anything in there. Just flip it, Merv. Just give it a good flip and go through it. See what... It'll stand out, a bit of crystal. Tourmaline is a bit harder to see. So no luck. I mean, that one's not much in that, is it?
No.
What about in the... Oh, you didn't use a fine sieve.
No.
Okay, so... 2 sieves, one had a bit of potential. Oh well, when you think about it, we found, here's a little bit of tourmaline. So, there's a nice bit of black tourmaline. Some of these actually, if you get a flashlight, you can see through them. They're dark green, really dark green. So we'll have a look at those in closer detail later on. You got a pocket or somewhere to put them in, Merv?
Yeah.
There you go, mate.
Yeah, it should be
well done.
in the pocket.
They're worth keeping, I reckon. You can facet those.
Yeah.
And they make nice little specimens. Okay, well that's it for the second sieve. Later on we'll come back. Not going to keep filming, but just show you what we find. Hopefully we find some nice little specimens and gems. And by the way, folks, when you go out fossicking, try your best to get better footwear than that. So another good way is to look around the gravel banks, and I've come up along here and I've spotted something coming along, so I thought I would show you. Just right over here, you can see it again. This here is a big chunk of tourmaline. It's actually quite a big piece, and that was just laying on the surface. I want to show you something also, that you come up, so here's a big rock, there's a bedrock here. And over here, you can see there's a layer in the clay where you've got all the stones. So this layer here, in here, would be worth looking into, and that's probably where a lot of the gems are washed out of. You can see how it gets a lot finer and thinner down there, but it's like a vein of gravel. So little things like that you can check out in creek beds. That's obvious. We've given up with the sieve because we're both tired. Didn't find too much, but see, that was just on the surface. We'll have a look at that later.